Alright, so we're back into another Dragon Ball Super Card Game video. This one, we're going to talk about the ultimates and the secrets and things like that. I wanted to kind of go through the progression that we've gotten as far as all the secret rares and as well as the purpose behind them and the versatility behind them. And kind of rank them on my weird little scale. You'll see it soon. Before then, definitely subscribe if you are new, like, dislike, all that other stuff. Comment below, what do you think is the best secret? What is the worst secret and why? Go into the first one, or the first thing to kind of talk about. What do we have so far? I mean, when you really look at it, we didn't get any SERs or ultimates, whatever you want to call them, until set 2, and we've progressively gotten more. We've gotten 2 per box. We've gotten 1 per box every so often, but for the most part, we did start out with the Vegito, and then we went into the Goku. Of course, Victory Strike. No one really knew how powerful / expensive that is, and we'll kind of come back to that. Then we have Demigra, Goku Jr., Goku and Oob, Gogeta, Frieza, the boys, the Super Saiyan 3 boys, the Power Patora, Boo, Broly, Vegeta, Baby Vegeta, and then the balls. So we have 15 in total. Now, if we really look at it, the top row are very archetype / specific. You know, they're very specific to what you should be playing within your deck. And as we progress, they've gotten a little more lenient, as in, you know, Frieza, you don't really need a leader, you don't really need an engine, but you do need 5 red. With the Boo, it kind of kept that engine / archetype idea behind it, as in you do need to play the AODs in order for it to actually even be good or even usable. Then we have the Broly, which I'll kind of talk about a little bit later. It doesn't specify the leader, it doesn't specify green, anything like that. You just need to meet the requirements for that card. And then Scramble and as well as Patora, both of these are situational and has the same sort of curve as in turn 4 or 5, along with very specific colors, as in blue, yellow, and as well as red, green. And then we have more specific cards, but more versatile cards, as in they do more things. Yes, the Scramble over here and as well as the Power Patora both do a number of things. Like this thing taps down 4 energy and draws you 4 cards, and now you have a triple strike for 40,000. And then this one basically says you can't combo. You're forced to combo things that you probably wouldn't combo normally, and as well as forcing them to take life. And then with these, like I said, they're a little bit more generic within the colors, and as well as just a generic ball in itself. And before, you really just had to play an engine, as in Goku Vegeta / set 2 Vegito, I guess, because this is a blue card. And then we have the red, and then the GT engine, Universe 7, All Black, or Shenron, etc. And we'll kind of go through that. And as we, again, I'm pretty certain that Bandai is going to continue this sort of trend, not only for value purposes, as in making people or enticing people to buy boxes, enticing people to buy cases, but also usability. Like, we really don't see more than half of the secrets being played here. We only see certain decks or certain archetypes which may not even be played that often within the format. And as we go through this list, I'm gonna go ahead and preface that it's not obviously not end all be all. I say that for everything, but also it's not really like if we look at it a vacuum and then consider the format second. You know, if we look at it a vacuum for all of these cards and then consider the format second. I'm gonna say that again. But the first one here, at least the first sort of tier for me, is the really unplayable, or why even try. And the reason why I say this is because with Goku Jr., he's gotten the best support for him within the best color in the game. And no one can ever argue with me that yellow is still not, well, I guess this last set is with red, yellow, and as well as blue, green. But up until a certain point, yellow has been probably the best color in the game so far. And Goku Jr. is yellow, and it's tied to the Lineage package, which is why it's so bad. The other part is why it's so bad, because you can only play Lineage cards with this, really, or a Lineage deck, is that when it attacks, it has to look at the top 7, and then when you look at 5 or more, or choose a combo 5 or more with the same name, Goku Lineage that is, you get to choose 2 of their opponent's life and place in the drop area. At worst, it is a 40k triple striker, but when you compare it to all the other ultimates which do more or do more for you, it's not that great. The same thing with the Vegeta over here. Yes, it is a triple striking, triple attacking 40k, but you have to pay 4 red with a for a blue card, basic. So not only that you have to play Goku and Vegeta red cards, or at least have red energy, but with a simple Crusher Ball, Cobalesce, even though it's at 1, Frost Deadly Poison, Champa, the new one drop extra card, the absolute, oh, not that one, the other one, the yellow one that is 4 or less life, the Super Galagun or Kanon, one of those. Both of these are affected by them, and the effect, unless you're playing Yellow Broly or something else, is completely nullified. I can imagine that, you know, you can work pretty hard for these two to work, but really they're not played in a lot of any decks, like anybody brewing anything up. They're not really considered, and it's like, why are you even trying, basically? Until they get major support where they can come out very simply or consistently, that is, and it doesn't have as many answers, I think you should be okay. Like for this one, it's less likely to be usable, but for Vegito, I can kind of see it. Like if you're playing a blue or a red leader, you can kind of get around with a Beerus Ball or Absolute Release Ball, but that's the only thing I can really think of. But 5 energy is quite a lot, and then this swapping into Path, you'd rather do Hana Mastery and then Victory Strike if you have it. All right, let's move on. These are the fringe / need support, and what I mean by fringe is that again, it's stuff that you really don't see very often, or you sort of like, yeah, I can give this a try, it might work at locals, at a local level, but probably not at a regional level at all. And I could be wrong, but that's kind of how I see it. / need support. So the only thing that doesn't really need support is probably the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It has a lot of evolved targets, it has a lot of ways to get out, but when comparing other cards or other secret rares even, you might want to play another red secret rare or something else. And to commit the actual engine, which I guess if you consider Triple Flash, if you consider the new Heartfelt, those are good options, but really the best target is going to be that Victorious Fist Goku, in which is kind of hard now to stick that 3-drop or to even play that card now, just with all the counterplays and all that other stuff. But I love the Goku. It is probably my favorite secret of all time. And I remember back in the day with my boys Chris and Brian opening up a case of set 3 and seeing this guy, and that was during the Mecha Frieza days, which was just stupid. I think that's another reason why it kind of fell out of the format and just kind of got forgotten. With the other ones, you have to play AOD over here with the Majin Buu. It's fringe, but it is still powerful. Like if you play the whole package, the only thing that really gets hurt by is probably Crusher Ball, maybe Denial of Hope if you're going for the Buu target, maybe even a couple other things, but it is still a triple striking 40,000. It gets out 5 different Agent Destruction, and as well as be able to be evolved on top of the on top of this with the 7-drop Kick Buu. So I mean, it's usable, right? You can still use it. The same thing over here is more in the need support category. Like World Martial Arts is the only thing that you can do in the set, and with the Shenron ramp being nerfed with World Peace, it's kind of hard. I think there is some usability and potential with blue-green ramp, but that should be explored, and we should, you know, kind of see what we can do with that. I mean, this is a very strong card with double strike and dual attack and ripping a life and energy. It's one of my favorite secrets, but honestly, there's a reason why it's $11. Like everybody has it because of the release and the amount of stuff that it's been, or the amount of World Tournament that's been released. And the other part of it is that no one really plays the card. So there you go. But the main reason is because you have to have 6 or more cards in both of you guys' energy, the opponent and yours, to play it for 6, which 6 is quite a lot. It's just too much. And then for Gogeta, it's sort of like if you're playing a blue SER and you're playing Gogeta usually ends games before you even get to this point, and then you sort of have to have enough targets and as well as sparking 15, which is just quite a lot. Like you can make this work, but again, it might need support, or it just might not even be considered. All right, moving on to the next. So the mid-tier sort of solid support, we have the Frieza Army Reborn. It is searchable. It is very, very strong within the deck that can use it. The biggest thing about this is that it has 5 red, which is kind of hard with the multi-colored meta that we have right now. Sometimes you want to charge a yellow, sometimes you want to charge a red. You can't always charge a red within a multicolor, which forces you to be playing a mono red color, which is a very strong sort of like archetype, I guess, or like deck theme. Like mono red is still like, it has a lot of good different tools, like a lot of tools that are good, that is. And then this, looking at their hand, and having quadruple strike, KOing their entire board, ignoring barrier, I think it could be a nice answer to the 4-drop Piccolo that everybody is harping on right now. But I mean, if anything, again, you have to sort of tailor your deck towards mono red, or at least a lot of red, for it to be good. Plus you have to be at 4 or 2 or less life for it to be useful, to be used as a 5-drop. Same thing for over here. The Power of Batora, I think, is a little bit more usable when your opponent has 6 energy, or has 6 or more cards in rest mode. This guy is actually pretty good. Like I think it is quite good. Blue yellow is kind of a weird spot. It can win, but I don't know if it can win over the bigger or stronger strategies that are being used right now, like blue green, and as well as baby. But I think in the right place at the right time, this can really win games for you. Plus you draw 4 cards, you tap their energy. It's just good. And then beyond Darkest Demigra, we have a lot of mono black decks now. Any Wish Leader, which World Peace again getting nerfed, is a little bit but at the same time, when you do get Demigra, which now Hachiyak is, which is another reason why this is sort of a mid tier, not any kind of lower tier. Hachiyak does use it and does end games for him, and when you do get it off, it's just a game ender, much like any other secret, right? Now this is the place where we say you got to play it if you have it. The Broly secret rare, again, if you're like, I think this card has a ceiling that people don't really talk about. Like, you can talk about it, you can play it in Maidens, you can play it with Zamasu, play it in Broly. There's a lot of different targets, Kaioken, all that. Is it being played within the format? Here and there, right? But I think the ceiling for the card is very, very good. The requirements for the card is kind of annoying, but if you do get it off, it's almost a guaranteed win if you set it up right. And again, that kind of applies to all the other secret rares. I think I give more merit to Broly. It could be in the previous list beforehand, but I think it's pretty good if you have it. Like, if you're playing a deck that can utilize Broly, you should play it. It's the same thing with these cards over here, in which Baby Janemba, if you are playing red yellow and you have no other secret to play, or if you just don't have a secret, you should be playing this card. It has offering. They have to crit 3 or play this card and have a negative, what, 20k leader? Or 15k. And then the same thing with the balls, and as well as this the scramble. Like, yeah, scramble, you have to play red green, but it has an effect in which they have to deal the damage, or two damage, and when you're attacking, you can do this within the combo phase. They basically can't combo anything 2 or less, and it's just very oppressive when you set it up right. Again, I don't think it's as oppressive as any other secret that we just talked about, but it's still good. And I think red green is in a good place right now. And then we have the Dragon Balls over here. This one's a weird one, but it is sort of like the card that you kind of throw in case you don't have any other secret. So if you have it, you should probably find that one of space, or that flex spot, that you can play the Dragon Balls. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Why? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. To start with Victory Strike, there is no other card that says if you deal damage, you win. That is just like Janemba, just like Hachiyak. If there's a card that doesn't really have an answer, or at least a comparison to it, it is automatically pretty damn good. And I think this should be at the top of the list because of the price, because of the effect, and because of the usability. Because honestly, if you use it in High Mastery, or even, again, you can probably put this in the Fringe section, Universe 7, you basically win. And it is just insane. Yeah, we do have a lot of different answers, just like how we have answers for the Vegeta, just like how we have answers for the Vegito. But the difference maker for both of these is that this one's very useful and versatile. Then this one is also like, if you hit them, you win. So in a vacuum, again, if you look at all of the secrets and you look at Victory Strike, no, it's not a good card. It's probably not the thing I would say, simply because you hit them, you win. And now when we talk about blue-green Vegeta over here, because of the archetype right now and because of the hype, I think it is one of the better, if not the best, secret rare that you could play right now, with the Piccolos, with the ramp, with the Android 21, etc. And I think the fact that you can play 2 different ways on their turn or your turn gives a lot of versatility for this card. And I think I would probably bump it down after a few events. I probably even wouldn't include this sort of like tier or section after a few events. And yeah, some people would say like this, when this victory strike has ever, when it hasn't ever been a problem, when it hasn't ever won an event. It has a couple of times actually, but like lately, yeah, we haven't had too many events. Yeah, it wasn't really prevalent in nationals, but at the same time, within the vacuum, it's just my opinion. It's just a good card. All right, that's it. I didn't really mean to speak that much, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If so, definitely let me know in the comments below. I got bars, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Later.